You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
When has being married precluded someone from being terrible?
You can troll without being racist.
Do people actually send nudes?
Mansutahanta.
Getting stuck in another dimension. I learned that Knuckles is an echidna.
I don't think it starts with a hello. Welcome to Born in the 80s.
Tweeted.
Episode 301. Matt has traditionally ruined my intro. As this is
We usually
tradition.
tweet out links and shit before we start.
I already did that.
Oh. Well, you
Where?
did it stealthily.
I know. I was being,
There it is.
professional and
Retweet.
kind. I should probably actually tweet
Heart.
out on the Born in the 80s account, you know?
Yeah, you should do that.
Retweet.
You've been
I won't,
doing those
though.
sweet,
Heart.
sweet nostalgia tweets.
I have been. And I've gained 10 followers just organically as well.
Get
That's awesome.
the fucks over
You know what's really funny about
here.
Twitter? Because I think it was Logan Paul or Jake. No, it was Jake Paul had his
Live.
how to succeed at being a content creator. What was it, the class that he was teaching? And he and people and the tips he gave are really good. Everyone's like, this guy's a fucking cold-hearted, calculated money machine guy. One of the tips, I've been following some of the tips. It's stuff I had already been doing before in the past. But one is just mass following people, and then mass unfollowing them, and
Oh, yeah.
and,
I tried
just
that
to
for a
get
while.
follows. It does work.
Yeah,
It's
but-
tedious.
Yeah, but it's skeezy.
It is.
It's skeezy,
Well, the
but
thing is,
everyone does it.
I was
Not
I
everyone.
had I think it's called Crowdfire now, where you can see the followers of other people. So I would search out people that have a similar music style to me,
Yep.
and then find the people that were following them and try to start up conversations with them. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's-
Matt,
it's-
your cover got retweeted recently.
yeah, that's
I
the
saw that.
company that does my licensing and distributing and shit. So
Okay.
that was nice of them to share it.
Cool. I listened to it.
They're the ones
I don't
that
know
make
the
it
song. I don't
legal
know
for
the-
me to charge money for a Radiohead cover.
I don't know what the music that was based off of sounded like, but
Not as good
So,
as what I did.
one of the other
That's
tips
for sure.
that was given is
Be very, very quiet.
making your
That's not
profile
what
appear to be a verified
John's
profile without actually being verified. Those of you notice the emojis in my name that are blue and vaguely check-shaped?
Oh, is that why that's there?
Yes, and it actually supposedly works. So that's
It
a
shows
pretty
up
cool
as a
thing.
blue square with a white eye in it for me.
Yes,
that-
it does that on that, but on Android devices, it's a circle, which is funny. Twitter actually bans you from using certain emojis in your name for this very reason, because there are ones that look more like the check mark you cannot use. So
That is ridiculous.
yeah, so
I
it's
was
Do you have
wondering where
any
you
more
had to
hot
download
tips?
it.
that's
John's tips.
one tip. John, social media tips. Also, I've lost so many of my fake followers. I now only have 700. I had 1,200 2 months ago. So they called. I had 570 a couple days ago. So I have a feeling that some of them got reinstated. So
I'm at 50.
I've been playing a lot with botcheck.me, which will you'll put in a person's name and it'll see their tweet frequency and what they tweet, and it can guess whether or not they're a managed account or a bot or something. And yeah,
So
a lot of
DevyMe
accounts
is
are
pretty
that.
cool. DevyMe is where I bought all of my followers, and I am completely out in the open on that. I think it's stupid to not buy Twitter followers, to be honest. If you're starting a business or a thing, because
Well,
you buy 10,000 Twitter followers. Service unavailable. Oh boy. They stopped it. That pesky New York Times.
Yeah,
ruined it.
Well, Twitter followers don't really do anything unless if you're trying to like pitch a project to somebody that doesn't know any better. Like people used to buy a bunch of Twitter followers and then like pitch a TV show or something.
Well, Matt, would you like to buy 2,000 YouTube views for $17?
No, because I don't want to get my account banned.
Would you like?
And either way, they'll only make you 3 cents.
Well, that doesn't matter. I wouldn't. I can quick order retweets and likes. Service unavailable. So DevUme, let me see. I'm just gonna have to go to DevUme.
Speaking of retweets and likes, please retweet and like mine, because I put swears words in my post about this one.
I will do that.
Must have.
John, I turned you up a little bit.
Okay, I might have been a little quiet. Wait, let me. Can you unturn me up though, and let me just make sure that my microphone didn't get auto turned down by my computer, because
turn down for what?
I told you. Do you want to check it again real quick, Matt, before we start? Because I turned it back up. How's that? How's that? Is that better? Is that too loud now?
No, I just nudged it a little bit, so it didn't make a huge difference. But I think it sounds good now.
Oh, that sucks that you can't buy Twitter followers on DevUme anymore. I mean, it is against the terms of service, I guess I found out. So I guess I broke it.
No, but
that's
like,
okay.
What you're doing, if you can get a free account on Crowdfire, and you can do pretty much the same thing, just following people, see if they follow back.
So you want to check this out. $20 a month, right? You can do on DevUme automatic engagement plans. So $20 a month, you can get 2 likes per tweet, an average of 1 retweet for every tweet you put out. If you choose, okay, this is expensive, but this is how you get the fucking shit right now. So if you want to spend $700 a month, every tweet you put out gets 210 likes, average 90 retweets.
It just reaffirms my theory that Twitter is almost entirely bots.
Mm-hmm. And it's a pretty big deal for, Twitter. I mean, it is expensive, this thing. Although I guess it's like if you tweet once a day, like $50 a month is 7 likes and 3 retweets per tweet. I'm sorry, $65 a month. And geo-targeting worldwide.
Why? What's the point of that? I don't know. I don't get it.
Oh, it can be as low as if you did a year. So that's $600 for a year to get that. That's insane. I would just buy followers, because followers are pointless. Like, how much is... Oh, they had the prices. 50,000 Twitter followers. So when I looked, it was way cheaper. Here it is. Here's the old plans. I bought like 2,000 Twitter followers for like $8. Now it's like 30. They did it. 5,000 followers, $50. That's the one I want right there. So you can buy 25,000 Twitter followers for $200. That's stupid. If you jumped up that much, it would be ridiculous. But people do it all the time, obviously. Although Richard Roper got suspended because of it. It's okay. He was a really bad reviewer, so. Oh no, he got reinstated. Like, it's so dumb. Like, they banned him because he bought Twitter followers. 221,000. Oh no. He voluntarily deactivated his Twitter account and started a new one. It's so dumb. Like, I guess I understand as like a journalist that is a movie reviewer, like, buying followers is like taboo, but I bet he just probably has a like a PR company that just does that kind of shit for him. So it's like, or so, you know, like somebody can buy followers for you. Like you just have to do it. Like anyway,
It's all
let's start the
just
podcast.
so dumb.
It's dumb. It's a stupid number that means nothing. But
Yeah.
to people, it does mean something.
There's like a thought going around that the reason Twitter doesn't crack down more harshly on like the current like propaganda bot problem is because they don't want to expose how much of their user base is not human, because it's basically at least 50% bots. At least.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start. Well, I knew it. That's why I didn't even go. That was a juke. All right. Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 301. I'm John Danger Rowe, your co-star. You can't interrupt that one.
Do you want to try that over?
Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 301. I'm your host, John Rowe, joined by my co-hosts.
Matt Haig.
And TJ May with less technical issues today.
That's right. TJ's got the internet. His kids aren't downloading Disney movies on torrents, so he's got
my kids.
You got the space.
My kids aren't 4 hours away. That's the issue. So I have my kids' phone.
So they're not using it. Smart.
Mm-hmm. Well, technically, now my kid's got friends and she's texting, and I got a text while we were setting up this podcast, asking if it was easy. I'm like, is what easy? I don't know what's going on anymore.
Oh no!
I'm not gonna read. I'm not gonna read my 12-year-old's texts.
Oh man, you should though, because that's a segment. As long as you don't identify them, change all the names. No, I'm kidding. Please don't do that. Please don't use your children for.
Yeah, we'll replace the Koozie Chronicles with reading TJ's daughter's text messages.
She'll read them herself. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get her down here. She will. She'll create her own podcast in the future. So
my concept of like preteens is probably at least a decade out of date.
Oh, I know.
She wants to either YouTube or stream. NSYNC. I don't even know what she listens to, because it seems like she listens more to the shitty meme music I listen to. Music from the Persona 5 soundtrack, the Jump Up Superstar from Mario Odyssey, and the shitty Siva Gunner stuff that I listen to every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
And
I guess a little bit of
All-Star
Katy Perry and Taylor Swift, but like the stuff from like 5 years ago.
So your children, do they watch YouTubers?
Yeah, my oldest is a Dan TDM fan.
Oh,
what
well,
the fuck is
better,
that?
That's better than a lot of other things. So
Dan TDM is
that's not, he's not bad.
He's not bad at all. He's not a garbage dumpster fire of a YouTuber. He is I mean, he originally started out just doing mostly Minecraft stuff, but he's just regular gamer YouTuber.
What is TDM? Is the Diamond Minecart? Yeah,
the Diamond Minecart.
I followed that channel for Minecraft videos back in the day.
He now does variety gaming. Does he stream?
No clue. Well, let's find the milkshake duck in this thing. Okay, how many of his 15-year-old fans has he slept with? Oh, what? He's married for 5 years. Oh, maybe he's not terrible.
So we're gonna look at for a doctor disrespect kind of situation.
When has being married precluded someone from being terrible?
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying it's usually the single young guys with their nerdy glasses and their cool hair, with their instruments and stuff, just always preying on children. And
you say that. I mean, true, but I'm saying if you want to, if you want to think that that's that is the archetype, then what about your Joss Whedons? Because I know he's been kind of shitty lately, or
Oh,
at least maybe for a while.
Not really. He just cheated on his wife.
True, that's at least consensual.
I mean, it's bad,
But,
but like, it's not. I mean, like, that's just like as vanilla as it gets. Hypocrite preaching feminist ideals.
Yeah, there we go.
It just seems so innocent now.
Well,
in today's world.
It's tough that like is like, I don't know. People like immediately jumped on this one. It's like, I mean, I guess this is like a woman who got a divorce. Like, I think they hate each other a little bit. So
yeah,
you're going to say some mean stuff, I don't know. It's kind of weird to drag it out into public like that, but I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. And
as well as
I
like
don't
the
know.
Anthony
With
Weiner
him,
stuff.
since it was with like people who he was the boss of, there's some extra weirdness there. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that
yeah.
much about it since that initial thing, though.
Well, because I don't think there was a lot there. I mean, he kind of said like, yeah, that was a dumb, bad thing for me to have done, and then that was a long time ago, and I'm sorry, and that's it. I don't know, like, what else can you say? It'll just blow over because something worse will happen. Some YouTuber will post a video of a fucking corpse hanging from a tree, and then no one will remember anything.
And then recently, tasing dead rats.
See,
It's like
I don't
also,
have a
like,
problem with
the
the
dumbest
tasting
thing-
dead rats because they're already
Yeah,
dead.
it's dead.
But like torturing a dying fish is not cool.
Uh-huh.
Fuck you, Logan Paul. I'm taking a strong stand on the internet. I'm against Logan Paul. Come at me,
So-
people.
I would like to mention Logan Paul, not a member of the milkshake duck thing because he was never good to begin with. So
He was never universally loved.
He was never,
Yeah.
yeah. Wait, so he tasered a rat? Matt, can you explain this? I didn't see this.
I didn't see the video. I just saw like a few think
I
pieces.
refuse to watch his
headlines of
videos
it.
Oh, yeah,
It was
same
like
here.
to confirm this.
I guess he, in his latest video, tased a dead rat and brought a fish, took a fish out of water.
I really
and
think that
pretended to do
tasing a dead
CPR on
rat-
it, and then poked it with a stick.
I do think that there's a little bit of Engadget here in this article goes a little bit far. What is it? Any act of animal cruelty will be frowned upon. I mean, it's dead. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, tasing a dead rat in the early 1800s, that would have just made him a scientist.
It's not really like animal cruelty. I mean, it would be like, oh, is it animal cruelty to film someone go pick up like roadkill and be like,
No.
woo, look at this gross thing. It's like, no, it's just a gross, awful thing. Like, ugh, why would you do that?
Because I'm hungry.
Yeah, well, I mean, the roadkill thing makes sense. I mean, that's good eats right there. I mean, but yeah. Anyway, it's just like
Wait, that reminds me. Aren't there still places in the U.S. that you could bring in your own roadkill and they'll cook it for you?
yeah. I don't want to call out PETA here because that's a whole thing, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just find it funny that like people would have this visceral reaction to him tasing a dead rat, but maybe possibly didn't care as much about the dead body he showed.
Well, there's
So
also
I feel like a lot of times
the
people. Yep.
there's
go.
also slowly killing a fish, which I think they're
I
more
didn't see-
upset about.
I
but
didn't
also-
see that part.
PETA, like I'm real into animal rights and stuff, but PETA
Oh, yeah,
can go
sure.
too far.
Yeah.
Like I'll be the first to admit that they can go too far sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, there's such a thing as believing in something, but not everything that an organization does, because they are a little bit. They
Yeah.
like to do things to get be catchy,
Yeah.
be sensational. And it's like, all right.
Yeah.
but,
So
like,
so like PETA, thumbs down emoji.
Mhm.
ASPCA,
there you go.
okay emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Dane County Humane
the-
Society, 2 thumbs
Yep.
up emoji.
especially your local humane societies, like that's where you really can make a big difference. So
Is there a 2 thumbs up emoji, or do you just have to do 2?
one thumbs
Thumbs
up
up emoji.
Oh, hey John, I don't want to
Yeah.
step on your toes here, but there was also a bit of a milkshake duck in the Dane County, or not in the Dane County, but in the National Humane Society.
Oh, we talked about this one, I think.
Oh, did we? Was that on here?
Yeah. No, we talked about not as a milkshake duck. I think we were just mentioning the Humane Society.
Oh,
we're
yeah,
talking
that
about,
was
getting animals.
My bad. That
But it's
was
okay.
totally
He
on
stepped
this.
down now, so it's over. No, but I mean, we're talking about it. We might as well get into it.
I just pulled that awesome thing where you tell somebody's story back to them.
Yeah.
I'm so
Well, we got a segment that we do every once in a while. You know, if Matt can find the music for it. Oh, what is that? I hear it. You need to get like a sound of a milkshake doing like a straw like thing as well.
Yeah.
All right, cut that one, print it. Let's use that one.
Hey, do me a favor and hold for just 1 second.
Okay, sure.
All right. I was just increasing the volume a little bit, and there would have been a slight glitch, so I didn't want it to be in the middle of a word.
Okay. So here's milkshake duck. They wanted to say something here. So honestly, I don't know if this is like milkshake duck though as well, because it's kind of like it's hard, right? Because like the definition of that is like a viral sensation that comes to the forefront that turns out that they're actually a bad person. You know?
Yeah,
like,
and they have to be held up as some kind of like example of purity and
not even necessarily
like,
that, but I mean just like this is so fun. It's so internet's innocent and fun, and we're having a good time. Like you know, nothing could go wrong, and then everything goes wrong. So let's talk about a game developer.
oh no,
For a sound designer. Sorry, for Subnautica. This is Simon Shilinsky, who worked on the sound design in Subnautica. Well, so Subnautica, I guess, is a little bit of a milkshake duck in the fact that Subnautica got a release. I believe it went 1.0 recently.
yeah.
Okay.
And the sound designer, you know, was out, was on the credits and whatnot. And so we go to basically, hey, you made that cool game. That's neat. Oh, I saw your name. Let's look them up. See what else they did. Oh, here's your Twitter account. Oh.
Oh no.
So this is why you have tweet delete turned on, because
well, this is exactly why I have it turned on.
no, but
get...
this is why you should use it if you're if you have your professional name tied to your account. So I think a lot of people were saying, oh, they're just trolling, like just making funny, dumb, like ridiculous statements.
That's not.
And to that I say,
I'm seeing the tweets, and that's not what that is.
To that I say, you can troll without being racist. You can troll people by doing stupid things, like when I forgot, was Bill Gates or Microsoft or someone did a live like press conference in Second Life, and the and this is old school. Something Awful forums members knew how to troll correctly, because when you have Bill Gates doing a live press conference or someone at Microsoft doing a live press conference in Second Life, what you do is you rain purple dildos all over everywhere. Like, that's just hilarious. That's not racist. It's not, like being provocative, other than having fake, phalluses flying everywhere. And that's the way you do trolling. You don't need to be offensive towards a particular race or gender or class. You can just be ridiculous, and that's funny. Like that. Anyway. So let's see what they wrote. Basically, oh boy. This is a reply to a very bad Twitter account called Prison Planet, @PrisonPlanet. Swedish Prime Minister could deploy military to combat Islamic no-go zones, which the medium still claims doesn't exist. Simon's reply: people aren't blank slates that can be reprogrammed simply by being in a new country. Importing random people from the third world is also importing third world tier crime rates and IQ. Love that. Gotta get that.
Gotta get that light eugenics in there.
Yeah, eugenics in there. Now you are dealing with third world levels of dysfunction. Condolences from Poland, but we tried to warn you. This person's Polish. That makes sense. That's me being racist there. But no. No, I just know that in Poland they have a very high amount of alt-right kind of like... They had a big contingency. I'm sure someone could say the same thing about, it was from America, of course. But then
that's
not,
weird.
Not all
Poland
Hungarians.
had like a whole thing with the with the Nazis like a few years ago.
I know. It's Anyway, here's another reply to Richard Dawkins, which is interesting because didn't he die like 10 years ago?
Sure did.
So this is a reply from last year of one of his older tweets, I guess. All the former British colonies are now some of the best places in the world. Brits don't need to feel bad about this. You guys did well. Yeah, of course. So praising colonization there, which is always good.
That skips over a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There was a
Check
like
this out.
killing.
long period where a lot of stuff happened in there.
Yeah, here's a good one. Granted, should have said most, not all, but street poo and the rigid caste system, which is spelled wrong, in India did not come from the West. Their space program did, though. So I was saying, like, the Indians couldn't do space program on their own, but...
Are you saying he spelled caste for the caste system like the cast I have on my arm?
Yeah, correct.
Yep.
That's okay. So today, Simon Chalinsky retweeted, "So I just got fired, ... And the Subnautica director, Charlie Cleveland, confirmed to Kotaku that the tweets were part of his reason for firing. Over the weekend, we discovered that one of our team members...
Probably, I'm guessing part of the reason is because he's just a huge dick. Because you don't tweet like this if you're not just an asshole.
Yeah. So after discussing the matter with him, we decided to stop working with him immediately. That's saying... Anyway. They had some issues, too, with the game back in the past. Having a couple... I don't know. I don't have anything else about that.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's some updates. Here it is.
Subnautica, it sounds like you need a new sound designer. You can catch me at sounddesign@matthewhag.com or hello@mathagmusic.com. I'm pretty much available all the time.
Yeah,
I know you're listening.
Yep. So anyway, it's kind of an interesting thing. Like, this is a thing, man. Like, and they say this all the time, and like, you'd probably be more likely to get away with it, like, if you were working for a larger company than just some small indie developer. But like, you're like public. Your social media is a public facing account. So when you say stuff on social media, people know it's you. I mean, I have scrubbed my social media, at least my Twitter account, of having any sort of link to myself. I know that it's impossible for me I want to turn tweet delete on, I guess, or off, I guess, but because I don't want to like have my history come back to me.
Yeah,
but like,
and it is really liberating. Just like, not because I say anything like offensive,
but you don't have
whatever,
to worry
but because
about it.
I can just be like, I can make the stupidest joke ever, and it's not going to land, and nobody's going to think it's funny, but it'll be gone in a month anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's like turning Twitter into Snapchat. It's great.
Yeah. So what's really interesting is, Jesse Farrar, who's at Bronzehammer on Twitter, is a guy who does podcasts called Your Kickstarter Sucks. I think he's written for Vice and Deadspin. Anyway, so he does some stuff. He tweeted, there was some, he is also one of the people that vastly despises Turning Point USA, like myself. So there was some Turning Point USA person who was like antagonizing him, and he said tweet that got worldwide here on Fox News, even here, where he said, let me get the whole thing. He said, okay, so Charlie Kirk, right here, who is the founder and director of Turning Point USA, which is an aggressive right-wing nonprofit that promotes conservatism on campus, tweeted, I get countless of messages from students who say professors are lowering their grades and penalizing them for being conservative. And one thing I've heard from a lot of people that are professors or do education that say that the conservative kid is always the worst kid in your class because they are the one that has to contradict and argue with everyone about everything and never listens to anyone. And they just happen to also be conservative. So
if they're getting a bad grade, they're going to go complaining online that the professor's unfairly targeting them.
Correct.
Because that's the kind of person.
Leftists dominating higher education represent a grave threat to our country and culture. I would say that the leftists dominate higher education because they're the party that wants to pay for education. So,
yeah, and also, isn't it strange how usually the more educated you are, the more left-leaning you tend to be? That's weird.
Well, yeah. Well, it's kind of a thing. It's because I think a lot of conservatives and that want to curb public funding for schools or lower that, and it's they don't want their taxes to be higher so they can pay for good schools or these universities.
Yeah, that's one way to interpret it.
Kurt he says a true statement here. Conservative students shouldn't be targeted for disagreeing. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Nobody should be targeted for disagreeing with them for their grades as long as they're not being dicks about it and disrupting class, which can happen. And here's what Jesse Farrar responded with, which is very obviously a joke, saying they shouldn't do that. It's not right. They should hold the conservative students' heads underwater until they stop breathing instead. Which is amazing because he literally used the thing that I always say when you do trolling or something is you want to be so ridiculous, and this is actually how slander laws work, is that it's so ridiculous that you couldn't believe that to be true. It's obviously not true because no one would say that. But that's what he did. Anyway, it's really funny. Anyway, so the story continues from here. That a person from the website, I forget who this is.
Deadspin.
I forget who sent it to him. Oh, the International Journalism Review or something. I reached out to the Deadspin editor, Barry Pachetsky, who's currently editor for Deadspin. He responded with the note. Let's just read it here. Jesse Farrar is no longer writes regularly for Deadspin. We as an organization do support his stance of trolling white supremacist-supported and associated organizations like Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA. And while I would not personally advocate the method mentioned in his obvious joke tweet you seem to be using to try to snitch on him to his employers, I can't argue that it wouldn't make the world a better place. Which is pretty good. And then they, of course, published his response while cutting out a bunch of it, which is really funny because he's like, yeah, that's not what I said back to you. So, and then, okay, so this is how it goes. A thing gets picked up by some, conservatives on Twitter. It goes to Breitbart and they write an article. And then where does it go after Breitbart?
Fox News.
It goes to Fox and Friends on Fox News.
And then to the president. That's how
this is what the left is, exactly. And it's just the
so
dumbest
much for the
shit.
tolerant left.
Exactly. So it's just really stupid.
Yeah, I love that. You're not tolerating my intolerance. What the fuck are you even talking about?
Yeah. So it's just really funny because, anyway, it's just the world is the worst because it's just you always see obviously his joke was in bad. I also like that. This horrible website that I'm at right here called Campus Reform, which I'm sure is really bad. It says journalist calls for professors to drown conservative students. This has to be a joke website. This has to be something making fun of Turning Point, because the investigative reporter's name is Nikita Vladimirov, which seems very much like an obvious troll here.
Yeah.
It's really funny too because he responded. Charlie Kirk, I think, said, "Interesting. He seems to call for the death of conservative students, waterboarding, suffocation. I'm sure he's joking, but imagine if conservatives made a joke about that against liberals, which they do all the time, by the way."
Oh yeah.
He responded to that with, "I'm not joking," which is really good too. Like, anyway, I wonder if this is. No, this seems like it is a real thing. Campusreform.org from the Leadership Institute. Will you help expose liberal bias on America's campuses?
Sure will.
You know what?
Send me
You know
your
why these
newsletter.
exist? Do you know why these things exist though? It's because all these like people who do this Nikita Vladimirov right here, this guy's own thing, is because all of these like conservative like campus organizations, and this is the same for liberal leaning ones as well, but they have less deep pockets, is they just create these like nonprofits so that they can get like crazy donors, like really like rich people basically, to give them a bunch of money as like a donation. You know what I mean? It's like, this is just literally, and it's so dumb too because like, anyway, this is the thing like I most hate about it is like they're taking these like kids who are very impressionable and they're just like, all right, listen to what I got to say. I'm Charlie Kirk. Buy my book. You know, I'm going to say all this stuff that sounds good to you, and you know, don't listen to it. It's just like this. It's like a cult almost. And it's like, this is stupid. Like my number one advice is you have to like get your news from more than one source. Like listen to more than one person. That's just the way it is, and it can't all be like from the same source. You know what I mean? Like the fucking cabal that you go to. Like you can't just be someone who listens to Fox News. And goes to these websites and follows these conservative people. And
as a general rule, the person or source that's being the least fear-mongery is the more accurate one. So
yeah, exactly. Fear-mongering is never good.
And it happens on both sides. Like,
oh yeah, you want to be sensationalist.
I've turned off a lot of podcasts just because they've gotten too hand-wringing about some dumb Trump tweet or something. And it's like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like,
we're being desensitized as we speak. But there are lines of like, okay, this is. You're just trying to be outraged over this right now. Just wait for the real bad thing that'll happen in a week from now. Like, you can cool your jets for a week because that's just kind of how it works. So it's just nasty. It's a nasty world. Like, and it's dumb too because like literally that independent journalism review website was like trying to get him fired. I was like, well, what do you think about this? And he's like, and the guy like, he's like, I work for places that don't give a shit about this kind of thing. Like, obviously, like, oh, anyway.
Yeah. Matt, before, did you say send me your nudes letter?
Yeah, the nudes letter from that weird conservative paper, I guess. I don't know. I just want to know about how the higher education system is indoctrinating our children with their liberal brainwashing. I just want to know those things.
So speaking about our children, or not necessarily my children,
okay, but TJ's children. What about them?
About these? No, this is definitely not about my children, or at least I hope not. Do people actually send nudes?
Oh yeah.
Is this a thing?
Oh yeah.
I've never sent nor received.
Holy shit, yes.
Nor do I know if I want to.
a long distance relationship.
Kinda.
Okay. Sending nudes is crazy to me as well. But I understand it because I know people that send and receive nudes all the time that are in relationships that are just like seemingly normal people, but they do it because it's like a weird thing. I think our generation was just a little bit on the old edge of that, you know. And maybe if you're still dating, you got caught. You do that kind of thing because it's just the way it is, you know. Like, I understand a long-term or long-distance relationship. That makes sense. You don't see each other, you know, so it's kind of like a thing. But like sending nudes through like dating apps and stuff is just like it happens though. Like, it's a fucking deal, man. Like, it's the world. I never send nudes. Like, I just
Yeah.
I've never done it, never sent nor received a nude. Because when I was in college, when I would have been sending or receiving nudes, there weren't there wasn't a lot of picture texting that existed.
and there's got to be like a level of trust before you just do that.
No, not really. You
Because
just don't have
we
your
still-
face in it, so then they can't tell it's you if somebody shows it.
Fair enough.
I'm just
But-
saying, man, it's like a thing.
Yeah.
So your kids have smartphones, TJ. How old are your kids?
One of my kids has a smartphone.
Okay,
That's
how
12.
Oh, 12. Okay, you're a couple years out here before it starts getting scary.
I'm a couple years out.
Well, not. I'm just saying it could be like, oh boy, because then they're gonna start dating, and you're gonna be like, oh god.
Yeah, exactly.
There's going to be all kinds of new
Hang
shit
on.
that we don't even know about yet.
Yeah, it's true. It's gonna be worse than nudes. I don't know how,
kidding.
but it's gonna get there eventually.
I'm getting ucky sweaty where I am right now.
Okay.
Wearing 2 shirts.
Take it off.
TJ,
Send
two
us your
shirts
nudes.
May. Yeah, please don't. This is a PG
So
stream. PG stream. Oh wow, you got the shirt off inside.
But
Good.
Oh, good. Years ago,
Not surprised.
this was more of a common thing, and I actually had pictures saved on my phone that was sent to me by my
Yeah.
girlfriend at the time. So
Yeah.
we were actually visiting her brother and his wife, and we were going through cat pictures, and he grabs my phone and starts scrolling through, and I
Oh,
suddenly remember
no!
that picture's on my phone, and I'm like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. So then I'm like, oh, here, let me show you a picture, and I grab it, and I quick find the picture, delete it, and then show him some random dumb cat picture. I'm like, look at this one.
Oh man.
So that's an example of when that can go wrong.
It's really bad too, and I want to say this to any lady, the 0 ladies listening to this right now, but I'm sure the women do this as well. So men, but when you get drunk and you're hanging out with your friends, a lot of times you'll have some guys that'll just show off nudes that they were sent. So you got to know that if you send a nude and they don't, it's gonna get shared, but maybe not, on the web, but with other people. Like, it's gonna happen because guys like to brag, as I'm sure women do. So it kind of does happen. I mean, I've been with some friends, one friend in particular, who would like to.
Oh, geez, I wonder
brag.
who that is.
He's a good man, but he likes to boast. And I know some others too. So it's just kind of like okay. And it's really funny too because one of my friends, you guys don't know him, but back when I worked at my first job after college, and he was just like get wasted and be like, check this out. I'm like, wow, you got some boobs on your phone there. Like, great, good for you. Like, okay. Yeah, so I don't know. That's kind of one of those things that I just never got into because it's just like I don't want to like chance that getting out. Like, it's just too risky now. Like getting hacked and shit. Like, fuck.
Yeah,
like it's nothing
but eventually
safe.
we'll get to the point where everyone knows what everyone else looks like naked, and it won't matter anymore.
I mean, yeah, that's fair enough.
We'll just have
And we're
zero
getting to
privacy in the future.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to that point with deep fakes. Have you heard of the?
Oh yeah, I
Reddit
heard about
deep
that.
fakes?
Yes.
Thank you. So this is actually a really interesting, like, quasi-science corner because there's like some computer science behind it.
Yes, science.
Because there's been some weird non-porn applications of this. So what happens
like
is that
putting Nicolas Cage's face on things.
on every movie, which is pretty good and very unsettling when it works. So I forget the name of it. It's called like Deep Fake app or something. I forget the damn name of it. Oh, cool. Philip, Aaron in the chat says Philip DeFranco did an episode on deepfakes.
And Tom Scott did one too.
Cool. I mean, it's an interesting thing. So, I forget the dang name of the app. It's like a computer program. And what it does is you can scrub images of a person's face, and teach. It's an AI like algorithm, and teach it this face from all these different lighting angles, all these, every possible connotation. And then what they do is then you feed it a video, and then you kind of try and match the skin tone. You try and match the age. You just try and get a close enough match, where with the AI, it'll remove the face of the person and put on the other face of the other person.
It'll take the face
so of course,
off.
Yes, literally Nicolas Cage face. Oh, someone's got to do deep fake face off where Nicolas Cage's face is on John Travolta's body and John Travolta's face is on Nicolas Cage's body. And it's like they went back to being on the right bodies for a little part in that movie. Anyway, so it's a really, really cool piece of technology. That's also really, really scary. So it's kind of interesting how it works because you can use it for porn applications, which is, of course, immediately what happened was people found porn actresses, and you could see it on this Reddit deepfakes site.
Yeah,
where
that's where
all right, here's... Yeah,
I saw the Nicolas
it's not
Cage
a website
stuff, and
anymore.
then I realized that the porn thing was happening when Reddit was had a big announcement that they were banning a bunch of subreddits.
Yeah, they banned deepfakes and a bunch of the other ones that related to it. So, what they were doing was finding porn actresses and being like, okay, this porn actress would work for these people. So get images of their faces and scrub the internet. And they were producing basically very realistic looking porn fakes. I mean, not always. There's a lot of the way it works with the algorithm is kind of does it. But I mean, you could do it on your computer if you had, the files. It's just a thing that you can run. And it was and they actually made an app. On a Windows.exe app that you could just plug in and go and work on it. So it was kind of like a thing. And so, like Matt said, you could use it for fun stuff, like putting Nicolas Cage on every character in a movie, which is really funny and unsettling and weird, or putting Nicolas Cage's face on Andy Samberg's head doing a Nicolas Cage impression, which is really weird and meta. There is some, exactly. Oh, fake app. Thank you, Aaron, in the chat. Yeah. And some, you can see some of these videos and you're just like, oh my God, that, it looks real, because it's just, when it works really well, it looks fucking real. It's creepy. And so this is the future where you can just put anyone's face on anyone's body. And if it looks kind of right, it could be like, hey, it looks like so-and-so was in this, background thing.
Video
it's just
evidence
Photoshop
no
for
longer
videos.
means anything.
Yeah, well, not yet. I mean, it's...
Well, there's a thing that Adobe's been developing where you can sample somebody's voice, and then you can type it out, and it'll say whatever you type in their voice.
Yes, they've gotten deep on that. Deep fakes, not porn, because I want to find I want to find fun examples of when it was not porn.
It just seemed like from that Reddit banning post that they were having a big problem with people using underage actresses' faces and stuff.
Getting
into weird areas with that.
Yeah. Darn it. Oh, fuck. All right. Okay, I'm never gonna be able to find this. Because when I search deep fakes non-porn, it's just all this porn thing has been deleted. It's no, I want the fun ones, replacing.
You should try searching on Bing.
Yeah, right. Let me Bing it. No, but it's kind of a really interesting, fun thing that you could do for memeing, and I hope that's what people use it for, and not making fake porns, because that's kind of gross.
Well, yeah, this is the pipeline. It's weird memes, then porn, then psychological military applications. That's how technology works.
Yeah, the worst part about it too is how legally gray it all is too, because it's weird because it's not real. So,
and neither the replacement nor the person being replaced are consenting to what's going on.
That's true. But
there's quite a bit of consent stuff here.
It's weird, but I mean, like, let's say you really like. Let me put it. Like me, you really like Gina Gershon. Let me just throw that one out there. What if I were to paint a very realistic looking image of her nude? Is that illegal? You know what I mean? Like, it's creepy and weird, but it's like, I don't know, like it's kind of a weird thing, and it could fall. I mean, as crazy as it sounds, it could fall under a First Amendment kind of thing where it's. I mean, you got to protect art. I mean, that's a gross thing to do, and I hope that if someone was doing that the community at large would be like, I'm not going to buy this or look at any of this because it's gross. But like, I don't know.
People have been doing this with like Photoshop for decades.
Yeah, that's true.
Photoshopping like a celebrity onto another person's body.
Just the video kind of adds a new element of realism to it, especially with how uncanny it is. When it works well, like so even if you don't watch any of the porn stuff and just some of the Nicolas Cage stuff, like it's creepy when it kind of syncs up and you're just like, ugh. It looks like his face is on Amy Adams' body. Another thing they used it for. Now that reminded me, somebody used that app to remove Henry Cavill's mustache because in the Justice League reshoots. Superman had Henry Cavill had a mustache, and they used like digital studio like effects to remove the mustache, and it looks kind of weird. And then the guy was like, "I used my cheap, crappy $500 computer in this fake app and did it in like a few days." It looks just better. It's like, so this is a pretty interesting and cool. I think it's a really neat piece of technology for something like that. Like if you need to digitally retouch something like Photoshop, that's incredible. For sure.
Or like all the de-aging stuff that Marvel's been doing in their movies. And things. Or that super creepy.
That's
Steven
really
Tyler
neat stuff
commercial.
you can do. Oh, somebody used it to redo the Rogue One when creepy CGI Carrie Fisher talks at the end of that movie. And they just somebody did it where they took her face from A New Hope and images of it and then put it on that, and it looked way less terrifyingly dead-eyed. So it worked better. I don't know. It's a really interesting piece of tech, but it was immediately used for the worst thing. So it's kind of grody. But so that's like all gone. Like you can't. I don't know. I'm sure you can find it somewhere on the internet, but not on Reddit. So good on Reddit for cutting that out.
You'll have to go onto the deep web.
Well, is there like a Reddit? I don't even know how to search for this, but can I find the Reddit fake app community for the non-porn stuff? Because I find that fascinating.
I have no idea.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's just called Reddit/fake app, and so this is the non-porn version. So like just how to use it, basically. Yeah, it's right here. All SFW creations will be on here. So cool. So that's where you can find the neat stuff on it, and not the horrible porn versions, which is like, ugh. Like, okay, here's a top one. Avoid deepfakes.cc like the plague. It's a crypto mining scam. Yeah, I get it. Anyway, so imagine horrible images and videos of people being used. Yeah, like Aaron in the chat here says, yeah, it's not illegal, but yeah, like I say, I hope that companies would saying we're not going to host this because even though it's not illegal, we don't want to be linked to it, and hopefully that it sorts itself out that way. And it looks like it has, because I mean, like everything connected to this, even the porn websites are like, no, we're not hosting this.
And it seems like if it's created by this AI software, it should be possible to design another software that detects it. Like it should leave some kind of thumbprint.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's no way it's not going to be undetectable. So, I mean, it's just kind of one of those things that, does that matter in the world that we live in, Matt, with Twitter and people virally reacting to things?
No,
where it doesn't really matter if the analysis happens weeks later, it's too late, So, anyway. it's kind of shitty, but it's the world we live in.
Sure is.
Mm-hmm.
I, for
anyway,
one, don't believe anything, even if I see it myself.
That's the way to be, though. Like, just don't fall for anything. Go to Snopes immediately for everything you see. So, all right.
I'm
fall
still
for
not
anything.
entirely convinced that I'm
Don't-
not a lonely god in a world of my own imagination.
I mean, that could be true. I'm still deeply freaked out over the simulation hypothesis.
Yeah.
You know, because that makes sense to me. You know, we talked about that in previous episodes. I think I forget the name of it. It's like, I don't know, Elon Musk's name was in the title of that one. Oh, man. Speaking of Elon Musk, the SpaceX launch, did you guys see any of that? The Falcon Heavy launched?
I watched it after the
No.
fact.
I actually love, somebody brought up a Neil deGrasse Tyson tweet where he said that the space could never be privatized because it's too dangerous and nobody will want to do it. And they were like, look at us now, bitch. Like,
Yeah.
we're
At
doing
some
it.
point,
Like,
Neil deGrasse Tyson went from fun science communicator to just shitting on everybody.
yeah,
And,
he's kind of
like,
a troll
every movie
himself.
that comes out.
Well, I mean, it's fine. He's a funny guy. He likes to really do his shtick. So, anyway, so it was really cool to see. I mean, they put the tune of the David Bowie song "Life on
Yeah, Life on
Mars"
Mars.
when the aperture of the thing opened and the Tesla Roadster was sent into space. You know, which was Elon Musk's kind of way to show off some brand synergy as well as the payload capacity of the rocket. You know, like, hey, we can launch a fucking car into space. It can carry I think 50,000 pounds or something like that, or maybe more than that. But yeah, watching not just the launch is incredible, but like the fact that they have those recoverable rockets.
Yeah,
Like, watching
watching
the
those two
rockets land
boosters
themselves.
settle back down is amazing.
And not the third one though, because that one crashed.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
It blew up the drone ship that was out in the ocean. So, but you know, regardless, they've get, you know, each launch, you know, they get more and more correct, and it's getting to the point where it's like, this is going to be cool. Like, they were talking about the just to put it into perspective, the Falcon Heavy could launch a fully loaded, with passengers and fuel and everything, 747 like plane.
Holy shit.
So I mean, it's got a big capacity. It's the most
This is
powerful
the
jet.
one that they're hoping to take to Mars in like a decade, right?
Yes, because it'll be able to carry enough stuff in it, you know, to be able to get it out there. Unfortunately, the Roadster, which was supposed to be sent into Mars orbit, the calculation of the trajectories didn't work out, and it's going off into the asteroid belt. So
It's going to be the
It'll-
first car outside of the galaxy if it makes it through the asteroid belt.
you're right. It'll be the first car to crash into an asteroid, which would be cool in its own way. But yeah. So I love that. I mean, I hate that our NASA is as underfunded as it is. I do like that, regardless of actual action, our current president actually likes to talk about funding NASA. Whether or not
Yeah.
he'll actually care to do it is kind of, but it is nice to hear, you know, saying we want to get to Mars. Like, that's a cool idea. I mean, let's do it. But I mean, it's not going to be NASA. It's going to be SpaceX, because apparently we don't care to pay, you know, taxes to go do exploration anymore. So, I mean, I'd
Well,
pay
we've
my
gotta
taxes to
pay
go to
for all
Mars.
those tax cuts.
Yeah, it's true.
So
And the military parades. But anyway, let's not get into this
no, I
tangent.
want to talk about that for a second, just because I love how he was like, "Let's do a military parade," and then like the DC mayor was like, "Nope."
Not in our city.
Because we don't want to have to redo all the fucking roads from tanks rolling over them.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's just kind of like, why, dude? Ugh. whatever. Like, honestly, to me, again, in the grand scheme of things, people are like, this is, dude, it's the worst. This is what, like, dictators do. And I'm like, yeah, I guess, but, like, does it fucking matter? Like, in the grand scheme of things? Like,
no,
just do
for
a
one, it's
Memorial
probably
Day
not going to
parade.
happen. So
yes, exactly. I mean, this is coming from the all talk, no action guy himself. So, I mean, yeah, but it's just kind of like, I don't care. I could care less. Like, as long as, like, we fund important things as well, which I'm sure this would take away from. But regardless, what can I do? You can't fight. You got to pick your battles. This is one. That's a hill I'm not going to die on because I don't really care. They're gonna have like people going by on the sides of the parade, making sure nobody's kneeling. Everyone's got to be standing, full of attention. Because if you're kneeled, you get thrown in jail.
So anyways, hey TJ, tell us about the weather.
Fuck the weather.
Oh, speaking of ICE, did you hear that ICE was asking
Shut
for
up,
access
shut up.
surveillance data from the CIA to
Speaking
get
of
top
ISIS.
secret access? So, great. No, I'm kidding. That's terrible, though, and scary. But speaking of ICE, TJ, how's the weather? How's the weather?
ISIS brought in the snow.
No, don't.
Oh man, we had a so it started snowing here last night, starting at around 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And the front of the entire. All right, I'm gonna do this, and you won't see this, but the entire front, or at least the entire snowstorm, was going from us at that time all the way to the middle of the Dakotas, and all of that swept through us.
Holy shit.
So over about a 24-hour time span, we got 14 to 15 inches of snow on top of the fact that we already had 6 inches down. So that was fun getting out and being able to drive. And even though I'm in a place that knows how to handle snow, didn't make the roads any easier to drive in.
Yeah.
But
John, what did we get here? Like 6 or 10 inches or somewhere in there? And
Not
even that
10.
was.
Let me see.
It felt like 10. But
like
yeah,
7.
I think we got like 6 inches, and even that was hard to get out of in the morning.
Oh,
I mean, since we're all from Wisconsin, I mean, I'm not in Wisconsin now, but we're all from Wisconsin. Back in the days we were in school, there's no way they'd ever announce a school closing the night before unless it was like 9 or 10 p.m.
Yeah, we got about 6 inches in Madison.
They announced the school closing for snow when it barely started to snow at 6 p.m. the day before.
I know. Lauren and I did the fun thing where when you're an adult, you watch the news for the school closings, and you see if your school came up, and then you can be like, celebrate, like, I gotta go to school! Because, like, it's like, shit,
And then you
Monroe,
could just
schools.
take off work and stay home and day drink.
I actually didn't go into work today because of the snow, because I brought my laptop home, and you can see it in the background of my picture there.
Sweet laptop.
And I worked from home today, so, yeah. It's fucking sweet.
I worked from work.
It's
I
nice
wish
to be
I
able
could
to
work from home.
Yeah, I took all my calls on my cell phone and had my meetings. So.
You used to call me on your cell phone.
Yeah, there's some pretty bad snow out there, and I know there was some pretty nasty wrecks I saw, like because it's kind of like a storm that's kind of hit the entire Midwest, so.
Tyrannosaurus
or upper
Rex?
Midwest. Yep, some Tyrannosaurus Rex. I follow a great Twitter if you live in the Madison area called Madison Traffic, at Madison Traffic. It always mentions all the accidents and stuff, so I can check to see what parts of the Beltline I want to skip.
And they do lots of
anyway.
sweet Madison traffic jokes.
Yep.
Their meme game is great.
Yep.
And I'm making fun of them, but I'm definitely following them right now.
Oh yeah, No, it's
I might as well get something useful out of Twitter.
Mm-hmm. So yes, Twitter is completely a scum, like a hive of scum and villainy, and oh fuck. All right, let's move on to something else. TJ had snow. I had can we talked about The Good Place, didn't we already? So
we did talk about.
I watched that.
You guys did.
House hunting.
I should watch that. It sounds good.
Yeah, house hunting.
How's the house hunting going?
It's okay.
House
Did you
hunting
kill one?
international.
Nope. That's okay. We've put a couple. We put more offers on houses that we didn't get, so it's fine. We're
Okay. I'm gonna apply my knowledge of house hunting shows to your situation. So I'm guessing you're a freelance basket weaver, and Lauren is a substitute teacher, and your budget is $500 million.
Yeah, I know, right? It's those house hunting shows are so ridiculous. But the market is kind of stupid right now. You can find some stuff, but like basically the only stuff that doesn't sell in like the first 3 days of being listed has problems with it. And that's kind of what we don't want. So we're kind of getting to the point where it's like,
you don't want a project house?
How much problems can we live with working on? You know, because that way we can at least get a shot at buying it. We actually looked at a really cool house in Sun Prairie that we thought was really good. I think it was $250,000, and it has 2,700 square feet, which is absolutely massive. It was built in the 70s. Oh, TJ's got a fun thing happening right now. It's built in the 70s, right? Single owner, which is pretty cool. I'm on the Switch, boys. And it has a greenhouse built into the side of the house that you can just walk out into that's heated. So that's incredible.
Yeah, so you can grow some of that kind herb in there.
Yep. And the entire basement is carpeted and is like one giant room. Like, just, I can't even tell you. It's like a fucking, like you can fit like 40 pool tables down there. It has a bar. There's a sauna that's disconnected. It's like got all this crazy 70s shit in it, including the original carpets in some parts of it, which is why it's kind of like, well, you know, that's a project I could save up for.
No, you got to keep the shag.
No, this is not
the
shag.
Taupe shag.
This is the nasty vomit orange, like thin carpet they have in the basement that needs to go.
Does it have any of that sweet green outdoor carpet?
No. But it does. I mean, the greenhouse is incredible. Like the fact that like there's a heated greenhouse with giant windows is really neat. Although that could be a problem as well. I mean, you know what I mean? Like 250's in the upper end of our price range. But the nice thing about it is it's absolutely enormous, which we don't need either because there's just fucking two of us. But it's just really cool. It's got all this cool shit.
It's 7 dogs.
Yeah, I was about to say we can have more cats and dogs now because we got the space for it. No, there's some water damage in the basement that we're worried about, so I don't want a flooded basement house. So especially when it's carpeted. So that we're inquiring about that. We're gonna take a look at it again on Sunday when they have an open house. But I'm looking at 2 more tomorrow morning. It's basically my life now is seeing house listings and telling my real estate agent I want to see these, and then having to go immediately to them because if I don't see them right away, I'm not going to get a chance to make an offer. And then you kind of see stuff where you'll see a house that's kind of like, okay, like this is 1,500 square feet. It's nice little neighborhood. It's got a little backyard. It's kind of cool. And you go inside and you're like, oh, this is all right. And they're like, oh, they want 260 for it. Like, are you fucking serious? 1,500 square feet. Like, it's because what a lot of people do, and what a lot of people do when they're selling their houses is, and I'm going to tell you this right now, if you're going to sell your house, what you need to do is replace the countertops, put in a stainless steel fridge and dishwasher and a new range, and you can sell your house for like $50,000 more because like it seems like the only thing people care about are like, does it have new and upgraded like gizmos? And it's like, yeah, but I mean like in the grand scheme of things, a new oven and a fridge and that like costs like what, $2,000, you know, and you're buying a fucking $250,000 house. Like, that's shit you can replace yourself, which you don't need to because the shit that's in there already works. The old stuff still works. I don't know why you need a shiny new fridge and you're paying a premium for it. I don't know.
Tell you
One of those old 1970s yellow refrigerators.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, or the
and then I'll take
avocado green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is why I'm particularly excited about this other house the old house that we're looking at with the greenhouse, because they have not done very many updates. It's a single owner house, which means they've owned the house since the 70s. So it's you know, it's been well maintained, but they obviously didn't have someone come in with a person who was like, maybe the 70s look isn't perfect, and change a few things. But to me, I don't give a shit because it's fine. I mean, we can spend, you know, years of our life doing little updates to it, and then when we sell it, it'll make a big profit on it because we've done some of the cheap updates, you know, to update the value. So I don't know, though. It really comes...
the oven with just replace the oven with a charcoal grill. You got that.
Oh, yeah. Indoor
You know
grilling.
what you have
indoors.
fine.
Indoor grilling is the next thing.
You've got to
This
get
house is
yourself one of
fucking-
those murder houses. Those come real cheap.
Yeah, with the blood still on the walls. It's like, hey, you
Yeah.
just got to repaint. It's not so bad. But I'm really looking forward to getting a house soon because I'm just tired of looking, because it seems like every one of my nights, and like I haven't put the episode 300 out yet because I spent 2 nights this week out looking at houses. Like, it's just, it's a lot of work, you know, like legging it and seeing, and then putting in offers and not getting them accepted is just a fucking pain. Like, I don't know. I really dig that house in Sun Prairie, though, that's like 2,700 square feet, because it is huge, and it has a greenhouse that's heated, which, I don't know, it just seems like a cool thing.
Yeah, you should probably get
even
that
though-
house. And can I come visit your greenhouse?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if you want to ever grow anything in there that was not legal to grow, as it has gigantic windows where you can see in
I
there.
I don't know how to grow anything that's not legal to grow. I have trouble enough growing my things that are
No.
legal to grow.
Yeah. So it actually seems really cool because it's like, that is like a year-round like vegetable garden. You know what I mean? Like, it's just some really neat shit you can do in there, and it's really dated looking. Like and it's like I could. I'm not even that handy. I could do a lot of things to fix this. You know what I mean? Like just replacing some of the tacky wallpaper. You know, that's easy. Painting a wall, that's easy. Like all this stuff, they didn't do any of that. Replacing the carpets in some of the older rooms. You know, it's like it wouldn't be that difficult.
Wallpaper. That used to be a thing.
I know. It's, dude, you see it in old houses and you're like, why? Why did
I
you
learned
do
a
wallpaper?
really fantastic fact the other day that bubble wrap was originally invented as a 1950s space age wallpaper.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I wouldn't be
such a
surprised.
bad idea. Because you just pop it.
All right. John,
Yep.
full wallpaper or the top trim wallpaper?
Oh.
Because I know I've had both of those.
The top trim wallpaper
my
isn't
childhood
quite
house.
as bad because it's like, especially because there was one house that we looked at that had some like top trim stuff done, but it was like hand painted like leaves and stuff. They actually looked kind of neat. I was like, okay, they did some cool work on this. But yeah, it's just like, why? I
was
going
gonna
to
say, mine was the Sesame Street ABCs.
Oh yeah, if you had a little kids room, like I've seen kids rooms when looking at houses where they have just giant like murals like that are like you can stick up, like of like Tonka trucks and stuff. Like I was like, man,
Or like
that's crazy.
an old woman with an inhaler.
Oh man, I want that. But like, I got to think of where am I going to put all my my Jonathan Taylor Thomas poster collection. You know, like that's going to be a room in the house. I'm looking forward to decorating a house and having space.
I know there was a kid's room I saw once that the wall was just covered in this weird substance that glowed under blacklight.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, that was my room.
That was semen.
That was my
That's
room.
every teenager boy's room. You know, the other thing that's interesting about this house that we probably won't get because someone will way overbid us, because Sun Prairie is a very hot area and this house needs work to be updated. But one of the
but
issues
the stock
with it, though,
market's crashing, so nobody's buying now, right? Is that how that works?
I lost so much money on Betterment that I'm furious.
It'll come back.
It will come back. That's the whole point. It's funny too because they sent out like an email to everyone and be like, "Hey guys, don't freak out, and I'll try and take all your money out because it's
This
just
is
how
where my
it
plan of
works."
just having an automatic deposit of $10 a week will pay off. Because
Yeah,
I'll
you just
buy
don't care.
$10 worth of stock when it's garbage, and
Yep,
it'll
this
even
is
out
how it
in
works.
the long run.
Yeah, because they talk about like this is the largest point drop in history, and it's like because it's so high. Like it's percentage wise a pretty normal small drop, like a little correction. Like it's just stupid. So, I was thinking of another investment thing, Matt. I don't know if you'd be interested in this. Have you heard of Fundrise?
No. But I'll
So
throw my money into any stupid thing.
Yeah, so Fundrise is the thing. Well, they talk about it on an NPR podcast sometimes. So, but it's real estate investing, where you buy real estate investment trusts. So you
Does it
put
come
in
in app
$500.
form?
I don't think they had an app. It's a website. But you put in.
I can't be bothered then.
Well, so you put in like $500 minimum, or you put in $1,000, and it puts it in a thing, and then it goes into real estate investments, and you basically just earn quarterly dividends off of it. So, like, let's say you put $1,000 in, that goes towards some real estate investment trust that is, I forget the dang name of it. It's an REIT, and I think that's what it stands for, but I could be wrong because I just cursory looked over this. But it's a passive income thing. So if you put $1,000 in, every quarter you'll get a dividend check for like $50. So you make like,
Oh man, that sounds super cool. And I will get back to you in 12 years when I can save up $1,000.
Matt, you should be able to save up $1,000.
I
by the time
agree
you're
with Matt.
30. I'm just
I
saying.
agree with Matt.
I know it's shitty out there, and the fact that like wages are stupid low and they shouldn't be, because everyone is criminally underpaid.
My problem is
about
mostly
this.
just that McDonald's is so expensive and so delicious.
I know, man. That fucking dollar menu's sparse now, and everything's $2 now. That's worth buying. But anyway,
I keep forgetting
And the
fucking Winter
sandwiches are
Olympics
so
is
expensive, I
going on.
might as well get... Oh, yes! The Olympics.
yeah,
Is
I
that-
started watching that. Yeah,
I'm looking
Is
for
there
curling.
anywhere-
it just started.
Is there anywhere I can watch that online?
I don't know.
YouTube, but do you have to pay for it?
I have cable, so I don't have to worry about that. I just watch it on there. You know, you can watch NBC, I think, online for free, maybe. Like, and that's got most of the like main coverage.
Oh,
Curling's
no.
already started. Mixed doubles.
Is it
Yeah, curling's been going on. I watched a couple. I
Round
watched
robin,
a Korean
yeah.
match. The Korean.
It might be
team.
on CBS All
I
Access.
fucking love curling.
It's not on CBS. It's NBC.
Oh, really? For some reason that
NBC
came
has
up
the
on
Olympics.
my...
But
Okay.
I think they're doing it on YouTube. But I don't know if it's something you have to subscribe to
Yeah, I
or
don't
pay
know.
for.
They got to figure out a way to make that free with ad support
Let me
online.
just log
Like,
into my Hulu account that I own.
I don't know if they have stuff on Hulu. They might. I don't see why they wouldn't, because NBC and Hulu are like partners, so they're one of the companies that is Hulu friendly. God, I love this auto camera. It's so
It really
stupid.
likes to randomly zoom in on your face.
When the lighting changes just
Yeah.
a little bit.
It does.
But it's cool. It's like an action cam. All right, so let's talk about something else. House hunting was fun, but it's starting to get kind of like I just want a place to move to. I'm done looking. Please let us find a place.
You should
Well,
move
let's
into
talk
that
about a
house that
different-
we did the ghost hunt at.
Let's talk about a different kind of hunting. Let's talk about
Ooh.
Monhun World, as it's called.
Monster hunting.
Yeah.
You must like the monster hunting.
So
Not the Pokemonster. Not the
so have you
pocket
heard
monster
of-
hunting.
So you've heard of Mohun or Monhun? That is Japan, because Japanese people absolutely love to shorten everything down into really short fake words. Because you have
Monhun.
what's Dragon Quest? It's Dracquay. So it's
Okay, yep.
yeah, it's they just like to do that. So Monster Hunter.
It personal computer is a persocom.
英語ができますか？日本語はあまり話せません。
Instead of PC.
Did you know that it's not Monster Hunter though? It's not Monhun. It's Monhan. Because because Japanese is really funny because when they use English words that they just Japanify English words basically. So
they want to get the pronunciation closer with the syllables they have.
So Monster Hunter is Monsuta Hanta. So it's pretty. It's Monhan, Han, which is funny.
Because if you were to spell out hunter the way it is in English, it's hunter.
Yeah,
and you wouldn't want that.
Yep.
So, hunter.
Yes, it's just funny how that works. But anyway, Monster Hunter World is, and people are like, Monster Hunter's been around a long time, and nobody's ever talked about it. But this one's got a lot of mainstream press and people talking about it and playing it. It's because this is the first Monster Hunter to come out on a non-handheld, non-Nintendo console, because they did put one out on the Wii and the Wii U, but those were not heavily like purchased. It was more of a niche thing. It was a thing. So this game is the newest one. A lot of incredible simplifications, ease of use, stuff that fixes the game. And I guess the best way to describe this for someone who's never played Monster Hunter before is it's like cooperative boss battling is kind of the way it is. And it is a game that I would say this is what I wished Destiny would have been in terms of a multiplayer like loot game. Because it is very much a let's play with my friends, or you can play alone, and you're kind of grinding the same monsters and doing quests and earning loot to craft gear and level up your guy, and it's kind of the loot cycle. But unlike Destiny, it doesn't feel bad. I don't know how to describe why it isn't bad like Destiny is.
The loot drop percentages aren't dumb, and what you drop is what you're using to build your new gear. That's true. So, that's one way. Well, some of the drop rates are kind of dumb for the higher level stuff, but that's the whole point. But the idea is that you're choosing what you want to do with the items that you get. So you are working on crafting stuff, so you can focus on a thing. Because you're like, I need to get bones, so I'm going to do the quests that increase the bone piles that randomly generate in the world, so I can go loot more bones and get that, so I can create my sweet bone sword that I have. I do need to get bones, correct, Matt? But I actually have like mostly bone gear as well. But this game is awesome. You have a cat friend named Palico, which is a little walking cat who is your like buddy that goes around with you in combat and like is your like backup guy who like distracts the monster sometimes, or throws potions at you, and sometimes collects like little items for you randomly. It's a really cool like feature. Kind of, I don't know. It's another little guy you can dress up with the stuff that you find. So to make Matt jealous, because I want to kind of throw this out there. The big thing when it comes to the game is the fact that, what is it? Is there 13 or 15 different weapon sets that you can?
13, or 14 maybe, somewhere around between 13 and 15.
Yeah, so like some people who play with like a one-handed sword and shield, and some people will play with like a quarterstaff, and some people will play with like a great sword, and every single weapon,
big hammer,
big hammer. Every single weapon will feel and play differently with different combos.
It's like classes. And the weapons are.
Yeah.
So
it's so much fun. I used to try to play with a great sword in some of the previous ones, and just the slow, and then try to time where you think the monster's going to be,
and that's,
because you use the two-headed sword.
That's the cool thing about this game, and it reminds me a lot of the way that like Dragon's Dogma plays, or a little bit like how Dark Souls plays, where it's very much an animation-heavy fighting game where you're doing these moves. So I play with a long sword right now, which is like a giant katana, which is basically like the great sword, but you have a lot more ability to dodge like left and right and do like little rolls.
More fluidity of motion.
Well, and the attacks go faster, so it's more of like a
Yeah.
chain. And so one of the cool things that's satisfying about like the hammer, which I've heard people really love, is that you are basically, just doing these long, like 2-second long swings, and you just gotta like position yourself and like, all right, I know the monster who's this giant like thing that's like 10 times your size is gonna like do this move. So I get near its head and start my swing, and then bam, it hits it right in the head, which like knocks it down if it connects and critically, or it can knock off body parts that you can collect that you need to use for crafting stuff. And so you're like, oh, I need I need a tail from this monster, so I need to go out and kill them, but not just kill them. I need to attack their tail only until it falls off, so I can collect it to make this hat. Basically, it's just like this dumb shit, but it's really satisfying because the combat itself is really satisfying and really rewards skillful play, and it really rewards taking your time. Unfortunately, the game does have time limits for a lot of the battles in the missions, but they're pretty generous.
Yeah,
and you're allowed to go back. And this is a big update from other previous Monster Hunter games, is that it takes place in open world hunting environments. So you'll have a big giant map of an area where there'll be all these big monsters roaming around. And another cool thing about this game is the emergent gameplay that happens when you're fighting a monster, and then this giant fucking T-Rex that's got a bunch of fur all over it shows up and attacks the monster that you're trying to hunt and starts biting it and throwing it around. And you're just like in between these two giant monsters fighting. You're like, please don't kill this thing. I've been fighting it for 20 minutes. And then you just like, it'll like knock the other one over and fly off, and you got to run after it. And like the big guy will chase you, and you can hide in a bush, and it'll like lose your scent. It's just a really cool thing that I think it does that Destiny doesn't do, which is what makes the replayability on this a little bit better, is that it is kind of like random things do happen. Like it is never... No two hunts are identical, because, like, weird shit can happen. It could just happen that this monster walks in on this, and then another one comes down, a bigger monster comes and attacks, and, it's just a neat little thing where you can, every time you go out, it's a little different, and I'm digging it.
And the open world aspect also changes your strategy.
Yes.
Previous Monster Hunter games used to have areas segmented by loading zones.
Yep.
So when you left one, it was a completely independent zone. You could go back. And this one, because it's open world, something's chasing you. It's fucking chasing you.
Yeah, you gotta run.
Get the fuck away.
Yeah, you gotta run. Get away, because this giant fucking furry T-Rex is chasing you down. I'm glad I bought it. I was on the fence because it was kind of like the zeitgeist of gaming right now, as everyone's talking about playing it and stuff. And I was like, it's gonna blow over. Like when I bought Destiny, and I enjoyed playing with TJ and playing it, but I just didn't go back to it.
Yep,
I liked
stopped
it
too.
I liked it, but it's just like I wish I wouldn't have spent $60 on that. Like, because I played good 20 hours of it, but it just didn't keep me there. Whereas I feel like this kind of would. I don't really have anyone to play with, but I'm sure I could find somebody. But it's just kind of like it feels fun in single player too, because the combat is very satisfying. Like, so with the longsword, which is what I main right now, because it's the only thing I've like worked on and leveled up. Because I tried a couple other things. I tried the gun lance, but it's too slow. Like I like something.
Spears are very technical. They always have been.
I'd like to try the what's it called? The insect glaive, which seems pretty cool. It's like a big long pole arm that's pretty fast, that allows you to vault into the air.
Oh,
and,
that's
like,
cool.
Try and mount a lot, and you have a little insect that you shoot at them that like bites them and like does status effects. I don't know. It's a weird thing.
I'm probably gonna start Sword and Shield and just see what kind of fits my style.
That's a very good one. I prefer to dodge rather than block, though. I like to dodge.
Is there a parry system in here where you have to time your blocks sometimes?
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
Okay.
But it's really cool because you're basically just, I don't know, it's just satisfying. Like the way that the combat works with the longsword is you're timing combos where you're hitting like triangle, triangle, circle, and then circle and triangle at the same time. And then you're filling up a gauge on your sword, which is red, which is your spirit gauge, which you can do spirit attacks, which are more powerful and slower, that do a lot more damage. So it's kind of like a thing where you're like, okay, do these combos to build up your meter, and then hit them with these huge like attacks, and it's really satisfying to like build up your meter, and then like the monster will like stop doing something for a second. You're like, oh shit, here's my time, and you hit like 4 of those like power attacks in a row. It's really satisfying.
John, do they still have the feature from Monster Hunter 3 where you can use the right analog stick as an attack stick?
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay.
One thing I do like
that was hard to do.
One thing I do like about this game, though, as well for onboarding, is that it removes a lot of stuff. It adds scout flies, which are like glow in the dark flies that will like basically, if you pick something you want to hunt, it'll show you the direct path through the open world to them. So there's none of that like looking at your map and trying to find something tedium. That, I mean, some people probably would be mad that they got rid of that, but it also is like a thing where it's like, but I don't think I would be playing it if I had to like do all that complicated shit. Because I'm like, there's so many things going on because you're collecting like items while you're out there in the open world, and it has auto crafting now, so it auto crafts potions and antidotes and all the simple stuff for you when you collect all the pieces. So it's really simplified a lot of the problems with it that make it really just the gameplay itself accessible, and the core loop of kill monster, farm monster to get enough parts to build all the cool gear that you can make with it, and then move on to the next monster. So it's just like kind of a satisfying loop. And it has not tutorials. There's a place where you can go and test out every weapon type in a little arena, so you can kind of get a feel for what you want to do. So it's nice. You can spend lots of time trying all the different weapons. And you're encouraged to try multiple ones, because you can always pick up an old weapon and go back to some old hunts and level that one up with the gear and see if you like that one better. So it's like where your character doesn't gain. Well, you do gain hunting experience, but your character's like abilities are based entirely on gear. So like you don't have multiple characters. You have one character that you level each piece of gear for. You know what I mean? So like you can switch to a different class by switching to like a different weapon type and leveling that up. So I don't know. It's really cool. A lot of flexibility in the way you can play, which is really cool. So I don't know. I'm loving it though. It's very good. My first Monster Hunter.
Matt, they are making this for PC.
It will come out in the fall, they said. It was supposed to come out like in March, but they pushed it to fall.
As opposed to Red Dead Redemption, which we still have no clue whether they're making number 2 for PC.
Yeah.
What? Red Dead
I
Redemption?
keep hearing people saying it's going to come out for PC, but I don't know like how
Since the last
seriously
episode,
should take those rumors.
It has to come out for PC.
We have a Red Dead 2 release date for console, though.
Yeah.
October 26th.
Yeah, it has to come out though for PC because of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, I think they're using the same engine.
Yeah, and I think their multiplayer is going to be similar to Grand Theft Auto 5, where it's an open, persistent world where you can dick around in and level your guys up and show off your gear. Because Grand Theft Auto 5 continues to be one of the top 10 revenue-generating games, like years and years after release, because it's a great game. Like, the online in Grand Theft Auto 5 is incredible. They keep putting new modes in. Like, and just it's really neat. Like, there's always something new to play on Grand Theft Auto 5. So it's kind of like a MMO almost. So anyway,
Man, the U.S. curling team fucking sucks.
Hey,
or at least mixed doubles.
TJ, enough Olympics.
We're only beating Finland.
Yeah,
Finland.
Hey, Finland's a pretty good country, right?
For Winter
South
Olympics,
Korea's beating us. Or combined Korea. Whatever it is.
All right, who wants to talk about something else? Somebody else take the floor. I cede the floor. My 8 hour long filibuster of the podcast floor has ended.
Matt, you've
seen the floor.
Matt, go.
I watched
Matt, how's
Cloverfield Paradox.
Cloverfield Paradox? Yeah,
Oh.
how was it?
It was free.
I saw a trailer for that. What be at the Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's where I heard about it. It's got that
Nice.
guy from the IT crowd, and what's his name? That dude that always plays the evil German. He was in like Captain America: Civil War. He's in that. There's
Wait,
bunch
what
of
person
other
from the
people.
IT crowd is in it?
the Irish guy.
Oh, Chris O'Dowd.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris O'Dowd.
So it takes place on a space station where they're testing out an experimental new sort of energy MacGuffin, and they fire it up and shit goes wrong. They end up punching a hole through the multiverse and getting stuck in another dimension, and from there it kind of gets into a sort of what's the movie? Event Horizon kind of deal.
Oh, I like that idea.
So it's kind of a weird cross between like Event Horizon and just kind of like a long, big budget Twilight Zone episode. I thought it was all right.
What does this have to do with Cloverfield?
So here's the thing about Cloverfield. I don't think Cloverfield is an actual like continuous world. I think it's just like a Twilight Zone, like where each episode has sort of a consistent feel, but it's got but it's just not necessarily connected to each other narratively.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's going to be like a big long thing where eventually all the Cloverfield movies line up and it all makes sense. I think it's just more of a brand that they're using to market this sort of weird Twilight Zone-y sci-fi. If you have a Netflix thing, it's worth the hour and a half or whatever to watch it.
The already
it's
you're
worth the
paying
$0.
for it.
It's worth the time that I spent on it.
It's got Zhang Ziyi in it,
Sure does.
the Chinese actress. Well, you got to have a Chinese actress in the movies now. Because
yeah, I know who she is then now.
she's very famous. She's the House of Flying Daggers, Memoirs of a Geisha. Like, she's like the super famous Chinese actress. So, that's
As
cool.
opposed to the super famous South Korean actress that we all know and love.
Oh, what was her name?
Asanko.
TJ's got it
Sure
down.
was.
He's been stalking. And then I think they have another Cloverfield movie that they're making right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like there's another one coming. So I kind of like this idea of Cloverfield Paradox. I don't know.
I like the fact that it exists because it's like the kind of thing that wouldn't normally see like a big budget release. So, like between this and like 10 Cloverfield Lane, the Cloverfield brand seems to be like a more old school, but also somehow more experimental style of sci-fi than what we usually get in like big budget stuff. So
you're saying this is like
Cloverfield.
Black Mirror, but movies.
It is. It's Black Mirror adjacent.
Okay.
But it is more like a Twilight Zone episode than Black Mirror, I'd say. I don't know. It's just like the weirdness and twists and turns have more of like that Twilight Zone feel to it.
I mean,
It
cool,
is
though.
bleak like a Black Mirror episode, but it doesn't hammer you over the head with the bleakness as much. It's more just a, like, what the fuck is going on kind of thing.
Interesting. Well, I think it's worth seeing. I mean, it's on Netflix, you know. Like, if you like sci-fi,
Yeah.
give it a shot. So that's cool. Well, that's good to hear.
So, John, before we finish this episode,
Sure.
I know you were streaming.
We're getting
as
near
you're
the end.
As you're finally playing the Final Fantasies.
Yeah,
you were streaming Final Fantasy 1.
That's correct. I'm doing my Final
so I was
Fantasy series, Finally Fantasy.
So I was thinking, at least for when live streaming.
Yeah.
That is actually a game that if you were streaming
Yeah.
and I was streaming at the same time,
Yeah.
and we were talking in Discord,
Yeah.
we can send people links to what's called multi-Twitch, where they
Okay.
can watch both of us at the same time and just listen to one of the audios.
Okay.
What
Well, you have to let me
is
know one time you can
multi-Twitch?
stream. We could do it. That
And I'll
seems
be
fun.
there for color
yeah,
commentary.
I want to play through the Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy 1's pretty dry in terms of games.
It's very dry.
There's not a
yeah.
lot in there. Not a lot of story. It's pretty bare. It's like,
No,
you're the
it's-
heroes. Go be heroes. So
Yep.
I try to be a little bit more fun on the commentary, but it's kind of hard because there's not a lot to go off of.
It's not a lot to riff on.
No. So it's fine. But it'd be nice if you had someone else to talk to, so that would help. Because I
Yeah.
want to get through.
Especially because
We're getting raided again.
Oh
are
no!
we getting rated? Really?
No, I'm kidding.
Monkey Roblox.
I don't think it starts with a hello. But anyway, hey, you want to calm the fuck down? I'm talking to my cats. They're racing around out here. Jesus Christ! It's like late, and they're just flipping out. No, but yeah, I'd like to finish. I want to get through the fucking Final Fantasy games. I played like 80% of 6, like 40% of 7, none of 8, like 80% of 9, 100% of 10, didn't finish 12, didn't finish 13. You know, like, so I got a lot to get through here, you know, and so I'd like to get through them. I know 2 is bad. TJ, you said you were playing Dawn of Souls?
No, you're playing Dawn of Souls. I'm playing Origins.
You're playing Origins, yes. The PS1. PS1 is hard to emulate. I don't like it. It's too complicated for me.
We'll talk about it. I can actually show you where to.
Because, like, I get it.
There's some better ones.
I got it figured out, but, like, so I downloaded EPSXE, the newest version. It just doesn't work on my computer. Like, it just won't load anything. And
Really?
I downloaded an older version with everything, and that one runs. So, but I don't know. I prefer using like Game Boy or other things as a thing because I think it works better because it doesn't. The emulation is so much easier.
Yeah.
Because anyway, but I've heard that the Dawn of Souls Game Boy Advance version of the game is pretty similar to the Origins version.
Except for you're playing with magic points, and I'm playing with number of spells per level.
Oh, I have numbers for spells per level as well.
No. I'm talking, like, my magic points are I have 7 spells of level 1 to use until I have to replenish.
Oh, so it's like it's literally exactly the
And I
same
have
as
tiered.
Dungeons and Dragons. Well, the way it works in Dawn of Souls is it's tiered, where you have
But it's still just magic points from a pool.
But you're only allowed to learn 3
Yep.
of the tier 1 spells of a class at a time. So it's just kind of like, So
It's funny that you talked about what percentage of the Final Fantasies you've played. I did maybe about half of 1.
Yeah.
About a quarter of 2.
Mm-hmm.
About maybe a tenth of 3.
I played a lot of 3
played
because I bought the DS version and played a bunch of that.
So did I. I did about 65% of 4. About half of 5. Maybe 20% of 6.
Okay.
95% of 7. I did not finish it. Finished 8. 9, about 90%. 10, I finished. 12, not even a quarter.
There's a lot in 12.
Yes. 13, I technically finished the prologue, so I'm half done?
Yep.
I don't know.
Same here. That's when I stopped playing too. I got through the hallways and I was done.
Yeah, I got 24 hours into that game right now. And I own 13.2 and 13.3.
Yeah.
But I've not started them because I won't do it until I finish 13.
Yeah.
13.2 10.2 I finished.
Okay.
I liked
am I going to
10.2.
do that with Final Fantasy? Am I going to do 10.2? I heard it's good.
No, you won't. I like it, but I won't say that it's generally accepted as good.
You change dresses. You know, it's cool.
Changing jobs mid-battle is awesome.
Yeah, it's a neat idea.
Matt, you can play us off.
Yeah, we're done. This all came because
I played part of that
Speed...
one where the spiky-haired boy played soccer at the beginning. And
Yeah,
then
that's
I
10.
played
That's
a
all of
lot
them.
of. I played a lot of. I played about 5 minutes of Final Fantasy XI online before I got bored and
Yeah.
went back to Dark Age of Camelot.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this all started because I watched the AGDQ, which was a couple weeks ago. They did. Someone played a Final Fantasy IV run, which I had never seen. Done speedrun. It was a really good speedrun because there's some crazy broken stuff that happens at the end of that game.
Yeah.
Including a lot of manipulation of the RNG, which is the randomness in the game. It was like, this game looks really cool, and I've heard Final Fantasy IV is a really cool story. It's a really neat game. I've started it a few times. I've never finished it, so I'm looking forward to playing that. Is there a way to play 5 in the US yet?
Yeah. There's lots of ways to play
Was the
5 in the
DS
US.
one?
There's the PS1 version which you can play on any
Yeah.
PS1, PS3, PS Vita, PSP,
Yep.
etc. There's Game Boy Advance.
Oh.
They did 4, 5, and 6 on Game Boy Advance.
Oh, I'm good then.
So yeah, you're good on that.
Let's play the Game Boy Advance versions. Although I heard the PSP version of 4 is the best one.
Yeah, and that version you can get on Steam. You can play just about every numbered Final
I don't
Fantasy
think
on
you
Steam.
can get the PSP version on Steam. That's the DS version on Steam.
Oh, that's right, the 3D graphics.
Which I don't like. I like the 2D graphics.
I don't like the chibi for 4. Chibi for 3 is fine though.
Well, the 3 was never released in the US in any sort of 2D form, so we'd have to play a fan translation of that one, so...
I probably still have one around.
Yeah, so... No, I don't mind that one for that one, so... yeah, so
So the
look forward to that.
website is borninthE80s.net.
Thank you. Oh, I gotta tell Adam about that. He's gotta renew the website. Registration.
Oh, that's right.
He
It
owns
is the time
that
of year.
one. But you can find me on Twitter and John Danger. Oh, I got 60 days yet.
I'm at Matt Haig Music everywhere. Stream my shit on Spotify or wherever fine music is streamed.
Go to devyoume.com and buy Matt some views on YouTube.
Don't do that. No.
Well, you can't monetize on YouTube anyway, Matt. You don't have enough subscribers.
And watch time.
Oh yeah, maybe I can't monetize under the new rules.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep, that's because you were going to post videos that were bad.
Because I'm a pleb.
And don't forget to listen to Matt's new cover of "Burn the Witch" from Radiohead.
Matt does have 500 subscribers though, so you are very close. You're getting there.
Do
Yep.
I?
You have 511. It says.
Nice.
Too bad it's not 311 because that's way cooler.
Or 420,
And
right, guys? Right?
You can catch me over on Twitch. On Twitter at mayofmay84. May of May everywhere else, including on Twitch, which I will be not finally, but maybe finally beating the fantasies.
Yeah, me too.
With John.
We gotta get through these.
Hashtag me too. No. Bye-bye, everyone.
All right.
I think we sound pretty good, actually. I'm not even gonna mess with it.
Okay.
Well,
Please don't mess with it.
Don't get out of here. Get the doc going.
What doc?
The Google Doc. Get
You mean
the
Google Spreadsheets?
The Google Doc.
Google Spreadsheets? That's what I've been using lately.
It's not a spreadsheet.
It's to the point where Google Spreadsheets is on my recent
We should probably call this
soap
Byte
lately.
Notes 2018. Matt, you
Yeah.
didn't even put anything in here.
No, I'm waiting for you to do your little copy bit.
I'm gonna do it right now. Alright, so let's just do some live doc.
I need some.
Oh no, the Subnautica sound designer did something. Is that our milkshake?
got
I
fired.
just need some. Good. What did I just do?
Ah!
Oh, I pasted some stuff from a document. Let's not do that.
Savannah is
Try
current.
this again. It's gone. Don't worry about it.
Is
There,
it your fanfic?
I just wanted. No, it's a terrible reality I live in.
This is a terrible reality I have to deal with. How do I make this fucking font size smaller? God damn it! Why did you make it? All right. Okay, so I got that. I got Science Corner. I got not worst of Reddit this week unless somebody has one. Oh, that. Thanks, Matt, for that.
You're welcome.
I can't find my cursor. Oh, man, what did I do today or this week? That wasn't desiring my soon and timely death.
Don't
the
do
hell?
that. You're not allowed to die. Otherwise, we'd have
Ow.
to find another host.
Ow! This light bulb went
Okay.
out. Boo. Warriors.
Hey,
Oh.
hey, baby. I've got to find the stuff I emailed to myself.
Emailed to myself.
I know more stuff happened.
What else is happening?
I saw an anti-Ugandan Shadow the Hedgehog, but it's still technically Ugandan in a way.
Okay, so we don't.
I
need
learned
But
that
YouTube.
Knuckles is an echidna.
Yep,
Shit, what was
He
it?
doesn't.
Oh,
He doesn't look like one.
four-headed penis. Echidnas have four-headed penises.
They sure do, and they excrete milk through weird pore-like openings.
And nocebos are interesting as fuck. I'm not reading it, but I know of the nocebo effect.
Oh, is that what we're talking about in Science Town?
Well, he's had that in Science Corner for about 2 weeks.
And we are
Longer.
now live on Twitch.
Hey, Twitchers.
Hey,
Twitcheroonies.
Twitch.
Hey, Twitch streamers, don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Join our Patreon at Born in the 80s.
Oh, thank you.
.net.
Thank you. That was my Twitch IRL streamer impression.
You guys need to donate to our stream because I'm feeling sad today. What am I talking
Man.
about?
I have a really good Melissophilia moment, but I'm not prepared for it, so I'll have to wait until next week. I learned something real neat about
Screw.
bees and wasps. And you guys don't get to know about it.
Are they eatable? Can we eat them?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Oh.
And
know what I
they're
found-
a little
you know
bit
what I
sweet
found?
because they're covered in pollen.
I've not found out how to download this client yet. We'll talk later on that.
I found a good Reddit, by the way.
Oh no, that means you found
The
a
good for
bad
worse of Reddit?
No, I found a good Reddit actually. It's called Reddit r/the blue pill, and it is
What
a
the
Reddit
fuck is-
that is dedicated to finding the worst posts on Red Pill and making fun of people that post on Red Pill. So
Oh yeah, I
it's
like some
pretty good
like that.
actually for finding stuff.
That's cool.
So, oh yeah, I've been playing. TJ, I've been playing a new game here. Let me just type it up here.
Oh, I did a thing.
Why does this say latest videos and not that we're live?
Do you just have to like redo it? It did do that for me too, and then I like clicked it and then it went live. So we're live on Twitch. So let me
That's what I'm saying.
pop that out.
Yeah,
And
just
let me-
pop that Twitch.
Pop that Twitch
Pop that.
share, baby. All right,
Up, drop, and lock it.
let me share on Twitter.
Oh no.
You have to get a new bulb for this thing.
Oh, why would that be? Why would that be disabled? No. Enable that. There we go.
It doesn't matter whether you turn the adult scenes on or off in Katawa Shoujo. The sex scenes are all disabled.
Hey.
It's great. Everyone should read it. Experience it. Watch it. It's free.
Pop out. I wanted to pop out that chat.
Pop out that chat!
Pop that chat, baby. All right. So can we listen to make sure that music you have in the background's coming through?
Sounds
Otherwise-
good here, but double check it.
Let me just listen because it may not be coming through, and then we'll be like, Matt, hit the sound effect, and nothing will happen.
Let me make it look like on
Yeah,
Discord
I can
I'm
definitely hear it. So
instruments. No, not that.
yeah, we can definitely hear it. Are you ready? We should get started.
We've got some drop
Games.
frames detected, so we'll be slightly under 60 frames per second on this elite gaming.
You guys ready?
I guess so.
TJ, you see the game I started playing?
Oh, let me go back to the notes. Oh,
I broke
I want
down.
it.
I broke down.
I want it.
All right.
Problem is, I'm gonna have. If you're playing on PS4, I'm gonna have to get on that system.
I know you are.
Fuck.
I mean, the problem with it is like the PC version isn't coming out for a long time,
Sometime between August and never.
and I don't have an Xbox One, so I had to get this one. So
Yeah.
well, let's we gotta get started here. This is episode 301.